It's all gonna be okay, guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, I'm so glad you clicked on this video. I have a lot of important things that I'd like to chat about with you in a little bit. This video is kind of a sit-down video, kind of a vlog at the same time. So I really want to talk about what I think as a Christian and as a Mennonite about this whole self-care thing. But before I sit down and talk to you more about that, thank you so much for being here. Subscribe if you haven't yet. So we are here at a park and I'm about to meet a friend to go walking, and then we're going to let our kids play on the playground a little bit. And then I'm going to be going shopping, but I just love getting outside with my kids. It's like a twofold thing. You know, nature just fills pretty much anyone's soul, I think. And then also I'm spending time with my kids. And today I get an added bonus of being with a friend as well, so we can chit chat. I love when I can find something to do that I'm going to enjoy just as much as my kids will. Right now I am on my phone because I forgot my actual camera, but the quality will be better just here in a second as soon as I get home to my real camera. But for now, let me show you around a little bit. And just a great big thank you to Skillshare for helping me bring this video to you guys. I'll talk more about them later, but they're an online learning platform that has really just added to my life, and I'd like to tell you more about them just in a little bit. Of fun. I feel a little windblown at the moment, but now I'm headed off to a pop-up fabric shop. You guys seem to really love whenever I show clips of the fabric stores in my area because we got plenty. Anyway, this little pop-up shop is actually a family who runs it on Facebook, and they're coming down to Lancaster County area to, I guess, you know, show us what they got, and so I'm excited. I think I might find a piece or two. We will see. I'll try to refrain from buying too much though because I don't have time to sew as often as I used to. Evonnie, where are we going? Shopping. Shopping, yeah. Maybe mommy can sew you a little dress, huh? So it is lunchtime and we are home. I'm just whipping together a sheet pan dinner for lunch. I like to make this kind of thing for lunches because Josh is not home and he doesn't particularly care for Brussels sprouts or cooked carrots. So me and Evonnie eat this and it's good pretty much all week. I will link the recipe down below. I actually got it online, but I do have a little bit of an adaptation to it. I'll let you know right now. I don't use onions because I don't like onions. I do the apples. And I also sprinkle brown sugar over everything, just a little bit, just that little bit of sweetness, along with all the other spices and seasonings. It makes it so good. And this is how it's looking right now. I will add parsley at the very end. These are carrots, they're actually left over from a Hello Fresh meal, and potatoes, sweet potato, Brussels sprouts, and then sweet Italian sausage. Oh my goodness, so yummy. Also it takes thyme, rosemary, and the best of all, if you ask me, garlic. So yeah, I'm gonna throw this in the oven and then I'm gonna give Fletcher his bottle and maybe push the kids on the swing. I promise I will talk to you guys about self-care in just a bit, but I just wanted to show you what a typical Thursday is looking like for me today. Swinging, swinging. Here, you gotta hold it up in the air. Gotta hold it up in the air. There. Adam. No, he's drinking his bottle. Adam. This swing is so awesome. I will link it down below. One of the best things on Amazon. Okay, clearly he's not so great at feeding himself a bottle. That's so neat. Yeah, it's so neat. You want to do it yourself, huh? You want to do it yourself. Zoom, zoom, you're so fast. Boo! They love these doors. Sorry, I'm eating chocolate chips. Don't tell anybody. But they love these French doors, or whatever you call them, out to the sun porch. Evonnie, can you show everybody what you've been playing with out here? Show me what you do. What do you do here? Is that how we do? How do you do it?
That's what that.
You are right. Yeah, what color is that? Good job. She found these somewhere. I kept them hidden because I didn't want little pieces around. You know, with Fletcher. There he is over there. But I told her she may play with them if she's up on the table and I'm watching. So, yeah, you matched it up. I love old wooden toys. Yeah. Also, she has these little dishes. Sometimes she just sorts the pieces by color and she finds that lots of fun too. They love this sun porch. Maybe because it's the only, I think they can tell when a room is pretty too. You moms can definitely agree with me, right? Whenever there is he's so loud. Whenever there is a room that's clean and nice, that's where the kids want to play. Well, it's no different when the whole house is undecorated except for one room. That's where they want to be. And while we're waiting on lunch, I wanted to show you the progress or lack of progress in our living room. We did get the drywall up. It's still not painted, but last night my husband put primer on the built-ins right there and on the shelves as well. So I guess the next step is paint, and then paint here, and then we will get our flooring, which I think we're gonna go with one of these options here. Comment down below, do you like this grayer one or the orangier one? I'm thinking about going with this one just because it's like warmer, and I think it'll really enhance the brick really nicely. But yeah, let me know what you think. Yeah, this flooring has got to go. Camera angle, but I had to show you this applesauce that I'm feeding Fletcher. That is not photo edited at all. It is that pink. That pink. It's crazy. All it is Cortland apples, and this has no sugar in it or anything. And once you heat it, like if you would heat it up, it would get a little bit browner. But it is so pink. That's crazy. Look at that pretty pink applesauce.
Yeah, pink.
Also, it's so sad. My retro dishwasher just kicked the bucket. Anyway, we have to wait like a whole week till the repair guy can come out. But interesting story. So this whole kitchen was put in about 1979, we think. And so the dishwasher's probably about that old. It's so funny, Josh called the repair guy to see if it's worth repairing or if he should just buy a new one. And normally, you know, they try to sell you a new one right away. But he's like, oh yeah, if you can get it fixed because they don't make them at all like they did back then. Like, back then they built them for war pretty much. And nowadays they build them to last 5 years, you know, if you're lucky. So we're gonna try to get this thing working again. But in the meantime, a round of applause to all you moms that are used to doing dishes every meal. I'm just not, and it feels like so much work. E-I-E-I-O. Close your eyes. I love you.
I love her.
So finally we get to the sit down portion of this video. I did not mean this video to turn into a vlog, but I feel like it's important for those of you that are just jumping in on my channel now to know kind of the context of my life and where I'm coming from, as I'm going to now talk a little bit about my perspective of self-care, which has been a hot topic lately, I'd say for the past year or two, just on social media and in life in general. And just in case this is a new term you haven't heard of lately, self-care is any necessary human regulatory function which is under individual control. Blah, 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 blah. That's a lot of big words, right? But the next part is really important. It said, which is deliberate and self-initiated. And this channel is for mostly moms, but if you're not a mom, you're welcome to continue watching. I think I have some ideas for you as well. But it's definitely true that moms are not gonna have people to care for them. They're constantly pouring out every day. But as a mom, if we're gonna get cared for, you know, on the regular, day in and day out, it almost is gonna have to be from ourselves, self-care. We are pouring out to our children every day, our husbands, and at some point, we have to be filled up again. And I'm a Christian, and I'm not gonna preach a whole sermon here, but I feel like the best way to care for yourself and your soul is to sit at the feet of Jesus and listen to him and have a regular and consistent and vibrant relationship with him. If you don't have that, you're not gonna really have anything else. But at first, when I heard about self-care at the beginning, I thought, oh great, just more excuses to be self-centered and think about ourselves so much. I kind of get annoyed at people sometimes who are always thinking about their own flaws and their own problems, and that is really good and has a good place. But you can't always be looking inwards. Sometimes you should be looking out and trying to give back to others and thinking about others. And sometimes I think we focus too much on ourselves, and then it actually becomes a problem after a while. Like, I think if we would focus on others and how we can help the world around us, we would feel a lot better in general. But that being said, as a mom, I'm starting to realize how important it is to have self-care. As a mom, we don't have somebody pouring into us too often. It's pretty much we're always giving back to our children and our husbands, etc. So it is important, I think, to have some self-care in our lives. And so today I can give you lists and lists of ideas of ways that you could care for yourself. I just thought that I'd like to share with you how I self-care as a mom of two and under. So if you're feeling run down or beat up or just kind of in a funk, maybe some of these ideas you can implement in your life, and maybe you will start to feel better and just to feel a little bit more soul-filled and cared for. Number one, like I said, is a relationship with Jesus, but let's go on from there. The first thing that I like to do that really helps is to get up before my kids. And if that does not sound like something that's feasible right now, I totally understand. We all are in different seasons of life. But my kids sleep through the night, so I usually put them to bed at 8, and I myself go to bed around 10. And then I get up at 6:30, and I have an hour and a half to myself every morning. And I just find that having adequate time for devotions, and usually I am, you know, I do work and stuff. It's not like I'm caring for myself for that hour and a half, but just being without the children around is, I don't know, it definitely helps me to feel like I'm caring for myself a little bit. It reminds me that I'm a person outside of being, you know, a nanny. And another way that I take care for myself is that I need to be learning. And maybe that's not you, but I'm a lifelong learner, and I just feel so much more alive if I can be learning something and not stagnating. I don't know, maybe I'm a nerd, I have no idea, but I like to learn new things, and not necessarily things that apply to my own life, but other people's lives. Lately, I've been really getting into researching the whole unschooling thing, which is nuts to me. If you do it, wow, wonderful. But I came from teaching school, and so to me, the structure and stuff, I don't know, I just appreciate that. Anyway, it's just really interesting to me to see how other people think. And I think it's very important that even if you're 26 like me, you do not think that you've learned it all, and you continue to realize there's a whole world out there that you can know more about. And this video, like I said earlier, is sponsored by Skillshare. And Skillshare is an online learning platform with tons and tons of classes that you can take about all different kinds of topics. Having a platform online where you can look up a topic that you'd like to learn about and learn from it firsthand from somebody else who has done that is just really neat. I was recently watching a class about how to care for houseplants. I have this goal of just filling my sun porch with houseplants. So I was watching a video on how to repot them. I've also been taking in some interior design classes. Yes, I really enjoy taking classes on Skillshare. So whether you want to fuel your curiosity, creativity, or even your career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep you learning and thriving. It's also super affordable. It actually works out to be less than $10 a month. And because Skillshare is sponsoring this video, you can go ahead and click on the link down below, and they're going to give you 2 months free just for signing up. So I encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity, because when you are learning and just stimulating your brain, you might ask, Megan, well, when do you watch these classes? You know, I was watching how to repot plants while I was washing dishes. You know, some of the classes might be a little more intense. I was taking one on like how to time block and just productivity and stuff. And that one, it was nice to have like a notebook in front of me and like actually do it with her. But yeah, there's all different ones on there. I invite you just to go check it out. You'll get lost in all the opportunities and options that they have. So thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. Another thing that feeds a lot of people's souls is just music. And this might be specific to Megan. I don't know, maybe I'm just a little weird, but I find that when my children are frustrating me or they're whining or like getting me on my last nerve, if I just sit down at the piano and pound away, or maybe play something really calm and try to relax myself, you know, play some songs, you know, I always walk away in a better mood. And actually sometimes it turns into a little praise and worship time for myself, and it just feels so much better. Or, you know, sometimes my daughter will jump up beside me and want to get involved too. Either way, it's just a good like shake up the pace type of thing and resets me a little bit and just gives me a better attitude. So I encourage you to try that if you know how to play an instrument, maybe do that. Another thing that really feels like self-care to me is just going on a walk or a jog or exercising and getting those endorphins going. I have some ideas for you, so don't click away if this sounds like you've heard it 100 times before. Just yesterday, I went walking in Lancaster City, which is the closest city to me where I live in Pennsylvania. And that walk, yes, I had the children along. Yes, I had to have them with me. You know, I didn't have a babysitter or anything, but I put them in the stroller. You know, Evonnie could watch the squirrels and play with the crab apples we found along the way and stuff. That walk was not for the children. It was not for them to see things. It was just for me to like be by myself. I just gotten away from a doctor appointment about my foot. I'm having some issues with it right now. But yeah, I just wanted to clear my head and to just, yeah, de-stress a little bit. And I had the children with me, so I just threw them in the stroller and I went on a walk. And I do this semi-frequently. And the walk was for me and not for them. And I was just, didn't talk to them. I didn't try to teach them. Normally when sometimes I go on walks, I'll be like, oh, look at this, look at that, you know. It was just for me, at least for the first part of the walk, and I just ignored them, and they were in the stroller, they were safe, and I take them on walks very frequently, so they're used to the stroller. So if this sounds like something that would really help you out and you want to try it, I would say be prepared for a little bit of a struggle at first, because if your kids aren't used to going in stroller rides, they're gonna be mommy this and mommy that, and it's not gonna be super relaxing at first probably until they get to understand that, oh, we're on a walk, we sit still and we just look and see what we can see. But yeah, be firm, bring snacks, and maybe that will be a way for you to get a little time to yourself without actually being by yourself. I know that it really works for me. Another thing I really like to do, I haven't done this in a little bit, but is just to take a bath. I don't often want to commit to spending money or just like taking a whole evening to go away somewhere and get my nails done or anything like that. But you know, you can do this at any time. Run water into the bathtub and just sit there and soak and relax. If you can't do that, another thing you could do is just take a long hot shower. Another super simple self-care tip you can just implement right away is to apply some hand lotion. And I know that sounds really ridiculous. Maybe you would prefer a face mask or something like that, but I found that even just the simple act of grabbing some hand lotion, right now I'm really loving this Soap and Glory. I think I picked this up at the end of an aisle at Target, and it's called Hand Food, and it's literally almost all. Let me see if I can get any more out. I keep this with me in my little cosmetic bag at all times. And just the simple act of applying some lotion to your hands, it just smells good, it feels good. I don't know, it can kind of just be a little thing to reset you again. And this might sound like a really gimmicky little thing, but it's something that I like to do. I encourage you to try it. Another benefit of doing this is they say your hands are one of the first things to age. So if you feel like I don't know, sometimes I feel like I carry all this tension in my face, you know, when I'm having a rough day with the kids or whatever. And I tell my husband, boy, there's no way I'm gonna age gracefully. You know, I feel like there's worry lines and stuff. So sometimes just applying a moisturizer or a hand cream can remind you to relax and, you know, don't carry stress in your body. It's all gonna be okay, guys. Who knew that hand lotion could do that for you? Anyway, just a tip. Another thing I catch myself doing that I had no idea really had anything to do with self-care for me, but it definitely is sometimes when I just had a long, stressful day and I have 150 things to do, I just will like put my to-do list aside and bake. I don't know, there's something therapeutic about like dropping cookies on a sheet or something. And then like we don't go through a lot of baked goods in our house, so you can go ahead and give those baked goods away. And so that's like giving to others, making yourself feel good, doing something for others. Yeah, I don't know. I know it's not the healthiest habit, but it is something that I find really therapeutic. And you don't have to really eat the baked goods. You can just the act of mixing the ingredients and having like an instant result at the end. I don't know. Sometimes that's just what I need to put me in a better mood and to feel, you know, ready to go again. Another thing that I do that I like to just throw out there is maybe if you're feeling stressed out and just like you need a little bit of self-care in your life, grab a journal or a notebook or a planner. In my case, I use this planner here. I will link it down below. It's from Amazon. I have recommended this before and I'm recommending it again, but It doesn't have to be this book, it can be whatever, but I found that when I feel stressed out, one thing that can really help is just to get things down on paper. Write out your to-do list so you don't have to try to mentally remember it. You know, it's there on paper, you can let it go. Just look up at the exciting things coming up ahead, figuring out, maybe you can reverse engineer some of the things that have to get done, you know, before the weekend. Maybe you want to just sit down and meal plan or order groceries. I know these things might sound like work to some of you, but if you're already gonna have to do those chores anyway, sometimes just, you know, grabbing yourself a good glass of ice water or coffee, tea, whatever you like to drink, and sitting down and like being intentional and trying to enjoy it, light a candle, whatever you gotta do. Sometimes that's just all it takes to like turn me around a little bit. And I have to admit, there have been evenings where they've just been rocky, the children are crying and whatever, they want a lot of attention, and you know, just knowing that I can do meal planning after they go to bed or plan my next day or whatever, just sometimes it's a chore that I can actually look forward to, and just it gets me through the evening and I can actually feel excited about it rather than, you know, thinking, oh, I have 3 more loads of laundry to fold or whatever, if that makes any sense at all. So that's just another idea that I wanted to throw out there. Maybe you are a planner like me and that would be a great way of self-care, but also getting something done. And I do have 2 more really practical tips for you, but I will share them in just a little bit. Okay, I've changed and I'm ready for this evening, but before I go, I have 2 more tips that I'd like to share with you in regards to self-care. And the first one is super practical, no matter what your size or your economical situation, whatever. This is just a tip that's helped me so much. Okay, have I built this up enough yet? That is, wear clothes that fit you. Not too loose and not too tight. I've just noticed that I feel very much more grouchy when I'm in tight clothes and it's restricting me and I don't feel confident about myself at all. And then if I'm wearing really loose and baggy clothing, I feel fat, I feel like sloppy and not put together at all. So that is my advice. Find your style and then find what fits you really well and get rid of everything else. You will feel so much better about yourself and about life in general. And this outfit here, I actually got completely from Inherit Clothing Company. And I think they called this skirt orange online, which orange is a really hard color to wear, but it is just gorgeous. I don't even know if I would call it orange. It's more like a pinky mauvey rust color. And guys, the best part, I don't know if you can tell, look, it's corduroy. Anyway, it fits me absolutely perfectly. I have a size 4 here. The shirt is just super flowy, but not too much fabric. Here, let me get a close up here. You have the pin stripes on this side and then like the ticking or whatever you call it on that side. Just really flattering, I really like it. And I just paired it with a undershirt underneath that I got from Inherit Clothing Company as well. You probably wouldn't need this, but I don't know. I like when I don't have to worry about my neckline or anything like that, so I have that on underneath as well. It's really nice quality and the color is just perfect. I don't even know what you would call that. Look, I kind of match my pillow. Anyway, let's not forget about these adorable, adorable shoes. They're like a slate blue gray. Here, let me stand on my rug. They match so well. Look at that. They're like these basket weave woven sandals, like very 90s-esque. And I'm a 90s baby, so I'm just loving this so much. I also got these from the Inherit Clothing Company as well. So yeah, check out those links if you are looking for some cute clothes. Anyway, all that to say, get clothing that fits you and that you feel confident in, and that's just self-care right there, right? Also, I didn't tell you where I'm going. Tonight I'm actually going to a coffee shop with a bunch of my girlfriends, and we're actually starting a Bible study. Here, hang on a sec. We are going to start going through this book here from the Daily Grace Co. called Daughters of Grace. And I think it's going to be really good for us. And I think this actually plays into self-care as well. Surround yourself with good friends that can lift you up and that you can be honest with when you are struggling and when you feel like you could use a little care from others or just someone to lean on or someone to pray with you. Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the most important things you can do for self-care. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope you found some practical tips that you can implement in your own life. I know a lot of you maybe don't come from my same place of life, but I feel like we all have things in common. We're all women. We understand the struggles and things in life. And so I hope that you got something from this video. Go implement something that I told you today and see if you feel a little bit better. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Subscribe for more. I post every Thursday and sometimes on Mondays as well. Check out the link in the description box below for your first 2 months free on Skillshare so you too can be a lifelong learner. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.